Let's talk about the cash shop, because obviously this is a huge talking point that's been brought up in the community. I've seen, as probably you guys had, takes under the sun. I think the most humorous for me was people complaining about the cash shop while like riding cash shop mounts in their game. Like cash shops are prevalent, and the old schooler in me wishes the subscription only MMO won out. But we don't see that anymore. I think it's a response to the pure economics of it. Otherwise, it would have won out. Like if it was the be all end all model, there, like that would be how it all functions. But clearly, you have buyers. Otherwise, there's no point in spending time making even a shop that people can sell from. But what's your take? Let's start with Danny on the state of the cash shop, on the state of XP boosters, on what they've shown off within the alpha with cosmetics. All any and all positive, negative thoughts. You're free.
It's such a big topic. It's such
a
big topic.
It's our final topic, pretty much.
Yeah. No. Oh wow. Okay. So where to start? I mean, I obviously come from a Guild Wars background. I'm not adverse to cash shops. I feel like the MMO communities are some of the best out there, but I feel like over the years, I don't know, I feel like we expect a lot. You see the likes of Battlefield and Call of Duty and all these things, and all of them have these battle passes in, and it's just kind of the norm. Whereas on MMOs, I feel like the moment any sort of cash shop was spoken about in New World, it was just pitchforks are out, rioting. It was a bit chaos. But part of me believes that, to be honest, this leak that happened was, I truly think there might have been an absolutely genius marketing play by by New World, because the amount of exposure that this cash shop brought to the game for me was just phenomenal. But I'm not anti it. I think it would be amazing if they could go down kind of the Sea of Thieves route. I love Sea of Thieves and the way the cosmetics are built into the game, and people just love to be unique in with their characters and things. They could generate all the revenue they need through awesome cosmetics, as long as they kind of fit within the game. And some of the armor that I've seen coming out, definitely not to my liking, but might be to some other people. And I think the main thing for me is with any sort of cash shop, especially from the cosmetic side, is that it just brings that diversity. But ideally, sticking to the theme of New World, and obviously, the boundaries can be pushed into the bit of the fantasy world, and I think that's great. But I've sort of spoken already. I like this kind of gritty hand-to-hand combat, medieval style, and I think New World really kind of lends to that realism side. Just with regards to kind of the boosts, I think I've met a lot of people and spoke to a lot of people that just said to me, "Oh, Dan, it's pay to win. I'm going to be able to boost everything," and I'm like, "That's not what's there yet. That's not what they've suggested. It's going to be around, rested XP mechanics." And I think a lot of the people I've seen discuss the boosts have kind of missed out on that kind of key point. And I say to people, for you to get your boost, you need to log out the game. So if you're any kind of like hardcore gamer, you guys don't need to worry about this. This isn't necessarily brought into the game for you guys, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I mean, I could talk all day about a cash shop. I've had hours and hours of discussions, and I'm not against it. I just really hope that they find the balance and they introduce it into New World in a way that's very fitting with the theme and don't kind of go over the top. To kind of sum up my thoughts, I guess.
Red, how about you, man?
First off, I'd like to say I'm just surprised that Danny likes Sea of Thieves, being a pirate and all. It's hard for me to liking that game.
It's kind of a good game.
Yeah. The water in that game is legit, dude. Like, I was like, anyway, yeah.
So one of the things, I think, like you had touched at the top of this, is the subscription model lost out. And I think primarily because you have 10% of the population that can spend 10 to 12 hours in the game at all times and get everything they want and earn everything they want by playing games. But, I mean, I think we've touched a little bit on this show. I mean, I'm 35. I've been playing games for 20 years. I cannot spend 12 hours every day in a game anymore. And I think the reason that cash shops
Freaking
exist is
weak,
because,
man. Weak. I'm just
yo,
teasing.
hey, listen, man, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to do it. Unfortunately have to work for a
Yeah.
living. So the thing is, if we can, if those people can buy something that helps them experience the game the way that they want to experience it, but only be able to spend like 2 or 3 hours a day in the game, I think that's why those things exist and why they've kind of come to fruition and become the preferred model, is because a lot of people that play these games are in that like 25 to 35 to 45 age model. So, one of the things is, knowing that, or at least making the assumption that this is kind of a thing that's here to stay. They just can't give an advantage to other players, in game. So you have to stay cosmetic, or at least stay in the vein of catch up mechanics, right? Just to help other people play with their friends that can spend 12 hours in the game. Things that help them do that. And then of course, like, you have to be able to earn similar or even better uh type of items in the game cosmetically. So if you're sticking with the cosmetic things only, you have to also uh be able to earn like raid gear that looks on par with those things you can purchase. Because one of the things that I hate about BDO, I played a lot of hours into BDO, is
Mhm.
like I can be the dopest, like best PvE person, but I still look like I rolled out of bed like as a level 1 farmer
Oh,
in my
yeah.
in my highest level
That's the
gear.
risk. That's the risk and the
And it's like, if
concern,
I
you
want to
know?
look as good as I feel, I have to spend $30 on an outfit, and that's like, I don't like that. I definitely think, and New World's touched on this before too, is you got to have items in game that look just as cool, if not cooler, than the cosmetic items.
So one of the things I've often kind of toyed around with is the mindset, especially when we say the subscription MMO lost. This is even back in the old days. Like the fact is that people, the old term used to be like, an eBay hunter. Like people would go and still spend money, and use and break terms and go do these various things to get what they want, right? And not that that was good, or I'm like advocating that that's the fact, but still to this day, like there's always going to be somebody who's got more money than time, and there's always going to be somebody who has more time than money. And we've
Hmm.
seen games shift into that kind of mindset, that relationship together. And I think for me, like, it's a very fine line, and it's a line that like, it's just like with any relationship. It's built around trust, and the problem and the why there's drama, especially even with Ashes. A lot of gamers have put trust into Ashes for no reason. Maybe they're invested in it now or whatever, but there's just a level of that. With
Hmm.
Amazon, they've had a couple of games that have come and gone. And the fact that we have Lost Ark coming out later this year by them, that's like, it could be this momentum shifting for them. Who knows? But I think it's about establishing trust. Do you trust that the developer is either going to try to go through your wallets, or do you feel like that your money is supporting the game that you love to play? Gamers have no issue supporting the games they love to play. We see this time and time
Hmm.
again. If you're having fun, like, I think that there's definitely gamers who will ride that free wave. They'll be like, all right, and that's why I'm kind of glad New World is a buy to play. Like, there's a base level, we're all on the same page, upfront cost, and then there's no continued wall. So that for anybody you're inviting in, it's like, because like I see this all the time within the 14 community, is like, what do you mean I have to keep paying? It's like, no, 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 play the free trial. Like, just stick in the free trial. You'll never have to subscribe up to the second expansion, and then you'll know if you like the game or not, and if you want more of the game or not. And that's the model they chose. But that free trial is epic. But there's still a wall. There's always going to be a wall when it comes to a subscription-based game, and it's that wall has become only higher in recent years as these big games have no subscription. In fact, they don't even usually ask you for money up front. So if you're going to try to go toe to toe with Fortnite, Halo, insert whatever popular new games out there, they're already training the next generation of gamers, and already not training, have trained those gamers that it's like, this is how games are. And then people
Yeah.
get this sticker shock, like, what do you mean you want me to pay for money? And then then they don't. So it's going to be something ultimately quite interesting. to see happen. I think that's why the expansion model makes a lot of sense, because if you have that yearly thing like Destiny, I've always said that Destiny's a subscription-based game. They just ask for their money all up front once a
Right.
year, as opposed to like every month, and then you're like, okay, I'm in or I'm not. And so that kind of model with New World, and then having supplemental ways to kind of monetize the year between, and will end up being what I think where we see MMOs go. Forward, at least the bigger ones, the ones that deliver on the graphics and the content and the things that we ultimately want to see. But those are my thoughts on that subject. And we've come to our hour. So kind of as a final thought before we wrap up the show and whatnot, what are your guys' plans for the beta? Both in terms of content, but like, are you taking time off work? Let's go with you, Danny. You've been streaming. I've been hanging out in your streams, man. I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's great.
But you've been just kind of like, here's video game footage of me playing the game. Let's talk about it. And then all the people who come in, and it's so true, because I'll do this like in a hype stream where it's like, game's offline. Let's just hang out and talk about it. And people come in. There's always somebody, one or two people, they're like, how's he already playing the game? And then somebody's so nice in the chat going, it's a video. But
I wonder how many times Danny's been reported.
So what's your plans for beta, Danny?
Yeah, we got some quite big plans, to be honest. Like personally, I'm really keen to just get back into the game, chop some trees down, mine some stone, and do some fishing. But I'm really keen to. I've met a lot of people since the preview that I want to kind of, fight in territory wars with, and I'd love to kind of get to a point where I can try Outpost Rush and or just basically get stuck in with all of these new features. From a content point of view, I would, I sort of started creating content for New World around the wars. I would love for people to kind of really enjoy watching us fight. We've come up with these crazy ideas to make some shield walls, and just getting really excited. I won't get too excited because I'll end up swearing, but just getting really excited in the wars.
You've done really good this whole show. It was really good this whole show.
Just having really good fun, basically. And from a company point of view, yeah, we've got our Pirate Gaming Company, and we've kind of people are really hyped about lots of different parts of the game, and whether that's rushing to end game level 60, or we've got people that just want to gather, or just want to craft. And yeah, we've got a real diverse group of people. And so for us, for beta is just coming together again. What's tends to happen for me was preview was amazing. We met so many great people, and people tend to just kind of filter off back to playing some different games. And I think it's going to be a real nice place for everyone to come back together again, and just kind of play with your mates again in New World. It's going to be awesome.
Now, before we let Red have the final say and we wrap up, I do want to say thanks to Captain Slappa for the $5 super chat sticker. Really appreciate the support for the podcast, man. So thank you so much. Awesome little sticker, the guy jumping up and down. So just wanted to make sure I thanked him. Red, how about you? What are your plans? Also for the site as well. Like, I'm sure, like, I don't envy you in trying to run this database wiki site and produce content. So A, what are your plans? And B, how do you plan on surviving? It's like constant monsters, like, or something. I don't know. What do you do? Go ahead.
Well, that's the advantage of having a team. Me taking it does a lot or all of the programming side, and so me and Bordy just kind of work on the content and everything. But yeah, we'll be busy doing that stuff. But we want to get the company together. We got a lot of people in our Discord that are ready to start getting together and getting plans for that. So we plan on using that time in game to kind of get a good head count. And I don't know, man, we just kind of talked about this for our podcast next week. But I think a lot of the things I would suggest other people to do is just go out and experience a tournament. You know what I mean? It is a beautiful place. And again, the sounds and feel of the world is something that I think you definitely need to experience if you're one of those people that are on the fence, that you're not sure you want to play New World or not. Go pre-order the game and get in there and try out, because it is truly a unique experience. And yeah, just collecting a lot of video for content and dude, getting the company together. That's what kind of like what Danny's saying, dude. I look forward to being able to play with everybody in the Discord finally, that we've all been kind of getting together and and trying to round up because it's going to be a ton of fun.
Thank you so much for checking out this highlight from Epic Loot Radio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe button, and more. And check out our other channels, Ginger Gaming Radio, Ginger Prime, and Work to Game for more content. Thanks for being here, and you're awesome.